Doctor Who. We are the Daleks.
You're not the only one who wants to know what's going on in there.
Who are you?
Me? Oh, call me the Doctor.
It's no good! They've spotted us!
They must be exterminated!
Come on, you know the game's up! Exterminate!
I want to meet this emperor of yours.
What?
I haven't come all this way to speak with the monkey when I could be talking to the organ grinder.
Let me go, and I will let you live.
We have the power of life and death over you!
Very well. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Hello and welcome YouTubers and Doctor Who fanatics to another Big Finish audio review. Yes, I'm back in action. It's been quite a while when I've uploaded on the channel, about 2 weeks now. Unfortunately, I had no time to pre-record any videos. This would be one of the pre-recorded videos, We Are the Daleks, but just had no time unfortunately. But yeah, I'm back in action. And today, we will be taking a look at We Are the Daleks by Johnathan Morris, which stars Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor and Bonnie Lamford as Mel for this full cast audio drama. It's great to have these two back again. It's almost been a decade since Red in 2006. That was ages ago. I can't remember what month. It's completely gone out of my head. But yeah, it's been a very long time. It's nice that they're back in action. So if you want to go straight to the review of We Are the Daleks and don't want to see how this audio is showcased, there's the time on the bottom of the screen. If you have or haven't skipped, let's begin the video. So for the cover art, we have the 7th Doctor by here, and he's wearing a different costume. I can picture that costume very well in this audio, so I do like that. We have Mel by there, we have graphics in the background, such as planets by there. We have Game Over by there, we have a Dalek firing, we have loads of pound coins about, and in here we have Zenos Tower, looks like dusk, and with London. So for the side of the release, we have the 7th Doctor picture by there. Doctor Who, We Are the Daleks in a bold font, and it is 201. Now for the back, it is directed by Ken Bentley. You have a bio on the story. I'll place that in the description if you want to check it out, or you can pause the video, but it's probably not close enough. But yeah, it will be in the description if you want to read it. And we have the cast featuring the story and who played the characters. 120 minutes approx, including the music score and behind the scenes. And inside we are presented with the booklet and the disc, with disc 1 being part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. Then we have advertisements for quite a few 7th Doctor releases, The Fearmonger, Genocide Machine, Shadow of the Scourge, Colditz, Lucas at Sunlight Edge, and Nocturne. Not sure why Nocturne's there, it should be by there, but yeah, I'm not going to fuss about that, it's nothing to fuss about. And we have the leaflet. If we open it up, we have The Warehouse, the next installment, which is already out. Haven't got it yet, because the Big Finish do take quite a while for me, unfortunately. But yeah, I should get it soon and review it. We have Doctor Who magazine, reduction credits, and we have the 7th Doctor variation if you desire to put it like that. I would say that looks quite nice with this cover, I gotta admit that, because I never usually change the variation, but that variation looks really nice with the cover, but yeah, I always keep it to this. Now then, to my review of We Are the Daleks. Well, it's a Johnathan Morris story, and I really was looking forward to it. Close as a Terror, if you see my review of that. I didn't find it the best of his stories. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great story and I enjoyed it, but not Johnathan Morris level. But still, I was really looking forward to We Are the Daleks because Johnathan Morris has so many great stories. I've yet to have a bad one, and that will never happen. Nor was I happy that Mel was returning with the 7th Doctor in Big Finish. Yeah, absolutely, because I like Mel in Big Finish. She's absolutely great, doesn't scream once, and a lot more better as a character and a companion in Big Finish audios rather than the TV series. She's a lot more better, trust me on it. You will like her in the Big Finish audios. Just going to put my points across. But anyway, let's get into the summary of the story. So the TARDIS drops both the Doctor and Mel to London in 1987, and as they leave the TARDIS they see a very tall building in the heart of London, which very much looks like a Dalek, as you can see right by there. Zenos Tower. And Mel does know about the Daleks as she's experienced them before in the Juggernaut, so she does know about the Daleks. But also another thing I like about it, with the premise, it's set in the 80s, with a brand new console in development. And if you know the 80s, that's the golden age of gaming, with brand new consoles being released. I'll name a couple of few very popular manufacturers, Atari, Sega, Nintendo, as the highest rated. But a brand new console, an unseen console, makes its debut, and the console is called Warfleet, which completely outshines the other consoles and games by miles and grabs the attention of the general public, such as gamers and all that. And if you know 80s games, they can only produce simple graphics like vector graphics and all like that. But apparently this Warfleet game can produce high quality graphics, so that's why it grabs the attention. And the Doctor is a little bit concerned about this, so he investigates Warfleet and its manufacturer. Now that's a bit of the summary of the story of what's going on with the start of the story. I'm going to leave it there, as when the story progresses it has some major twists and turns going on, and I don't like to get into the story that far. It's one of these stories where it's better where you go into it blind, not knowing what you're expecting. That's all I'm going to go with the opening summary. Now we can go into the in-depth review, and as always I go part by part right the way through it, and I'm going to have to be quite careful, as this one I find it quite difficult to review, as I can easily spoil it. I just have to cover the stuff which I can, because I don't do spoilers. Maybe some other reviewer will go into that stuff I don't cover, but personally I don't do that stuff, because as I said, it's better to go into this completely blind. So at the start of part 1, I absolutely adore where it starts off. Set in the 80s, the golden age of gaming. It focuses that a lot in part 1. I adore that moment of the story. Also focuses a lot on Mel, as she's a person who adores computers and is her area of expertise. And that's also nicely brought up in Catch 1782, as at a very young age she wants to become a computer scientist. Very interesting. I really do love the side of this character, because also I love computers and all that snazzy stuff. So yeah, I like that side of Mel being a complete computer whiz, computer hacker, computer scientist, and that was one of her dreams when she was young, so I like that. A lot of different flashbacks to Catch 1782 in this one, so yeah, I adore that. Yeah, the Daleks get into the story quite quickly because there is a Dalek building in the heart of London, so the Daleks will be quite quick introduced in the story, and they do, but in a totally different manner, and I love this. Very similar to Power of the Daleks, as they're quite cunning, unpredictable, and sly. I'm going to be talking about the Doctor now. I'm going to cover more about his costume. I just can picture it really well. It really blends into the surroundings, as he stated he wanted to wear something completely different so he can blend into the surroundings. And I can picture it really easily. See, I like he wears a different costume rather than the one we all know and love. Characters at this point of the story, absolutely fantastic. We have one called Alek Zenos, who is the head of the Zenos Corporation. Very interesting with his name, Alek. If you add a D right at the start, it says Dalek. It's a very interesting name, A-L-E-K. As he's explained to his guests at Zenos, a very interesting partnership, first exclusive to the UK. I do really like Alek's character. He seems very fearless and not easily intimidated by any sort of character or the Daleks. So where part 1 is leading is all very interesting, but if I cover too much with 2, 3 and 4, then I may be going to spoilers, so I have to be a bit careful. But if I do go over spoilers, I'll just probably cut it out of the review and just retake it. So you have nothing to worry about. But yeah, part 1 leads the story in a very interesting direction with a brilliant cliffhanger. I find it quite unpredictable. Part 1 of We Are the Daleks is absolutely sensational. Starts the story very gripping with Warfleet, the Zenos Corporation, the Daleks having a very interesting way with their plans. It's very, very interesting. This is not just Daleks going straight to the action, blow up Earth, none of that. There's just something a lot more better, to be honest. And a lot more creativity has gone into it, so well done Johnathan Morris. He's usually a creative writer anyway, so I expect it. Now with part 2, and now this is where the story gets really action-packed with an epic scale, and I have to say the music, sound design is so superior, it's brilliant. He did Curse of Davros, I think that was his first one, and that was very epic scale. Did Dark Eyes 2 and Dark Eyes 3, very good soundtracks. He's done much more, but I can't name all of them, we'll be here forever. But he's done about over 10, and they've probably been all great. And the music feels like a soundtrack from a video game. A lot of moments where the music is very techno-ish, and something you expect from an 80s soundtrack, while the other bits with the Daleks are really action-packed and epic scale. Brilliant music. And yeah, when it carries on, this part does lead to something very original for the Daleks. And for some reason it's been a hit and miss on some people. I can't go too far in it, but people say they're doubting themselves a little bit, the Daleks, and they don't like that. But the idea, the plan they have is really original. It's great. And I disagree when people say that. It's something new, refreshing and original for the Daleks. Yeah, their plan is absolutely excellent. Now to the second half. The first half was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Absolutely fantastic. I did enjoy the first half even more on my second listen. I have listened to this release twice. It's always better to give someone a second shot. But what about the second half? Always cripples a story where the second half just dips down. You have a brilliant first half, and then the second half it dips down. It can be so underwhelming. So, did the second half live up to really high expectations? Well, if you think I said no, you must be crazy, because it's a Johnathan Morris story, of course. Part 3 and Part 4, the second half, absolutely delivered. And it does get a bit different from Part 2. What the Daleks are doing is slightly changed. Now, I'm going to bring this up because it's been slightly annoying me. A lot of people do not like the title, We Are the Daleks. I find this completely odd. The title's brilliant. And yeah, it might be a title from a Doctor Who short story in 1973. So, honestly, I have no idea why people criticise the name. Got that out of the way. Now Part 4. It delivers a fantastic end for the story, and some brilliant twists heading around. An absolute thrill to listen to, and I very much enjoyed this listen. Another moment I like in Part 4, I forgot to mention this, is where one of the characters, I can't say who, tells the Doctor to speak to this Dalek, who is higher up in command than normal Daleks, to speak to it with respect, and the Doctor just talks to it in absolutely filth and say that's as much respect as it's gonna get. So I like the 7th Doctor in this one. I'll get more to characters in a minute because I'm just going through the story details. I did say quite a lot about Part 1, but I had to be quite careful with Part 2, 3 and 4, as it's easily spoiled. Alright, now we go into characters and performances. Characters were all absolutely brilliant and a joy to listen to, well casted and well written. I will not be going over all the supporting characters, as some of them are best to find out for yourself, and if I go too far in them, it will spoil them. So then, the 7th Doctor. I would say this is one of his best performances for a Big Finish audio. He's absolutely brilliant. Has a great balance with comedy and being very serious. I would lead to the side though that he is more serious than comical. And if it was too, say, witty and quirky, the 7th Doctor, it might diminish the story content, because it is quite dark, the story. So that's a good thing. The Doctor isn't too quirky and witty like season 24, because I had a little bit of a fear that it would diminish the story and cripple it. But no, it doesn't. It's a good balance. I would say it's 60% serious Doctor, 40% comical, so good balancing. If you love the 7th Doctor, if he's your favourite Doctor, you will fall in love with this story, I guarantee it, without a shadow of a doubt. I love McCoy a lot more when I listen to this one. He's going up on the ranking. Now we have Mel. As a companion, she is very likeable in this story, in my opinion, and also very clever. Much better in the TV role, and isn't annoying whatsoever. So much more better than the Big Finish audios. I love her computer side to her character, explored in Catch 1782 and expanded in this. Well, actually no, the other way round. Explored in We Are the Daleks and expanded a bit more in Catch 1782 if you haven't listened to that. So if you are interested in Mel's computer side of her character, I do insist getting Catch 1782 a very good character piece. Yeah, this is Mel's best performance story, We Are the Daleks, with Catch 1782. So main cast, absolutely perfection, absolutely brilliant, and I enjoyed them. So that was the main cast. Now supporting characters. I'm going to start with Alek Zenos, who is Angus Wright. A fantastic character. I would say he's my favourite supporting character. It was a bit of a shame he wasn't used in the second half. There is a reason behind that. I can't go into it, unfortunately. But yeah, I wish he had a little bit more listening time, as I find him my favourite character. Again, with Alek Zenos, he's very interesting when the story progresses. And I love it how he's so relaxed in dangerous scenarios and isn't mocked or intimidated at all. I'll definitely focus your ears on Alek Zenos when you get that story. Next one, Celia Dunthorpe by Mary Collin. And I remember now, I've seen one reviewer say that she can be a little bit annoying. Yeah, agree to disagree, I slightly agree with that, but I still find her a fantastic character. I think the reason that reviewer finds her annoying, she is a little bit self-assured. It's one of those sort of characters, so I sort of get why that reviewer finds her annoying. But yeah, I did like her, I liked her part of the story. It's just the way she was characterised. But yeah, I have no problem, no quarrel with her. That was good performances by Mary Collin, and good writing by Johnathan Morris for a character. Now the other ones don't have too much of a role, and they're, lower than Alek Zenos and Celia Dunthorpe, who have a bigger role as characters and more characterised. But the other ones are not too much. Anyway, we go for Brinsley Heaton, who's Ashley Zanhazer. I hope I'm saying that name properly. Actually, just to make sure, yeah, it's Zangasser, something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong, I apologise. And Brinsley does have a boss, which is Mel. So they have good interactions with each other. Brinsley is very interested in the game Warfleet and talks quite a lot about it. So yeah, good performances between them two. I think that I remember them having a scene at the start, and that's where he was talking about Warfleet. Now the other characters being Serena, Niles and Frank, I don't remember having too much to do, so maybe there's no point of talking about them, but I remember good performances, absolutely. I do remember Robbie Stevens playing Niles and Frank very well, so casting is absolutely brilliant. But there are two other characters who I just can't cover. If I go literally into their characters, then they're spoiled, so I have to cover them up. There's two other characters I can't mention. Now, what's my final verdict on We Are the Daleks? Well, I've said pretty much positive things about it. I absolutely love this audio. It's a sensational Doctor Who story, and I adore it. Anything wrong with it? Negatives? No, to be honest, I completely love it. There might be this little thing where Alek Zenos and Celia Dunthorpe overshadow the other characters. I really enjoyed this audio. I've listened to it twice. The first time, I thought it was perfect. So I listened to it a second time saying, well, there has to be something wrong with it. I went through a second time and there was nothing I disliked about it. Nothing. So I pretty much find this audio perfect. I have no quarrel about it, nothing wrong with it, and it's one of my favourite Big Finish audios I have ever listened to. Is it better than Enemy of the Daleks? I stated in that review of Enemy of the Daleks, that was the best 7th Doctor story, and We Are the Daleks has earned the crown of the best 7th Doctor story. Is it the best monthly range? Well, I'm not going to really tell you that, that'll be maybe a future video. So the rating. It's obvious, isn't it? It gets a well-deserved, full marks, 10 out of 10. Nothing wrong with it in my opinion. Great work by Johnathan Morris. Something new for the Daleks, which hasn't been done yet. Except for them just basically invading Earth. Something a lot more creative and more interesting. So thank you very much for watching my review of We Are the Daleks. My next review is a very big Finish review. The 6th Doctor, Last Adventure. That's going to be a cracking review. It's probably going to be quite long. I'm not going to split it in half, but I have no idea how long it's going to be. I've got a lot to say about it. So of course, I will see you in that one. Definitely pick up We Are the Daleks. It will be a roller coaster of a ride. But for now, I've only got one thing to say. Goodbye, and have a good one.